Michelle, I
Okay.
really like this microphone. It's
I'm
really
so
good.
happy. We are
Oh,
live. Girl, we live. See? Y'all already in for a treat, okay? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Out of My Shell and Coach Michelle Jackson. Tonight, I am uber excited for our guest. As you know, why do people talk, especially pastors, like it's three of them and it's only one of them talking? I am not a we, I am a me, okay?
I am
Anyway,
weak.
I am a me. But I have been having these special guests probably like every month, a couple, maybe one or two for the last few months. And this one is so special, not taking anything away from my prior guests, but this one is my sister, Artistpreneur, Sherry Amour. So please, without further ado, please welcome Sherry Amour to your life, to your livelihood, to your screens. We thank you, Sherry, for being here.
Hi,
Sherry,
beautiful people.
and I was going to read off, I know I'm throwing a monkey wrench already. I was going to read off Sherry's bio, but what I will say is this, and then I'm going to give her the floor for a few seconds. Sherry is an artistpreneur. If you don't know, now you know. She is an artistpreneur. She is an artist. She is a performer. She is a songwriter. She's a songstress. She's a singer, not singer, y'all. She's a
Oh,
singer.
yeah.
She is an amazing woman of God. She is also a project manager. She has her own business. She's an entrepreneur, an artistpreneur. She is my sister, my friend, my girl. All these hats she wears so eloquently and gracefully. And Sherry, I'm going to let you talk to the people and tell them what else you'd like them to know about you. You're just all things beautiful. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, as you know, and you have the floor. Sherry Amour.
Thank you, Shell. I feel so official being on your platform today because you have the best interviews and I enjoy watching them. So I'm extremely nervous right now because I had to get all official, y'all. I had to get a mic and everything because my sister is so official with
Oh
her
my
interview.
goodness.
Hello, beautiful people. Thank you again, Shell, for having me. And I'm excited to be here to have some good conversations. And yeah, just to have some good conversations. So I'm just excited to be here on this lovely Tuesday evening.
Yes. And so I am committed. Thank you, Sherry. Again, thank you for being here. But I'm committed to not letting you guys just listen in on one of our many 4 to 6 hour conversations. I was like, I gotta stay structured and focused. I cannot get all off in the land that is Sherry and Michelle or Sherry and
Uh-huh.
Shell, okay? Because
Yes,
we'll just
Shell.
talk and talk and talk. So we do have some questions. We have some points we want to hit. But you guys, if I go off on a tangent, just ride with me. It
Yes.
will be fruitful, okay? I promise you, because our
Y'all
conversations,
enjoy it.
yes, we always are talking, and I'm like, I wish people could hear what we're talking about because it
They're
just
gonna get
gets
today.
so juicy. Yes, yes, yes. So tonight we are going to talk about Sherry Amour from a perspective of COVID, yes,
Mhm.
COVID-19, career, and faith, and how all of those have been intermingled in the last few months, this
Mhm.
season that we're all in, because many of us have different journeys, but there's always a thread of connectivity to all of us. We're all kind of in the same seasons, even though things look a little different for each person. So I wanted to have Sherry on to just kind of talk about a different perspective and not so heady as I can get. I can get in my head, y'all.
Girl,
But
me too.
and Sherry definitely can. That's why we're on the phone for 4 to 6 hours at a time.
Yes. Yes. Just the
But
other night.
yes, what was that Sunday night girl? Oh Lord. Anyway,
Oh, Saturday into Sunday.
and it was supposed to be a short conversation. It was supposed to be like, girl, I just wanted to call to ask you or to tell you this.
Yeah.
6 hours later, we were getting
Yes.
off the phone. But
Yes.
so tonight I am uber excited, and we're gonna start, Sherry, with a question about balance. As I am so thankful that God gave me the insight years and years ago. The key to our happiness, the key to our joy is in balance, because anytime we're out of balance, out of sync, that's where chaos hits, that's where confusion hits, that's where fear has an open door. So how do you being an artistpreneur, being all these things that you are, all things lovely, all things beautiful, all things work and focus related, okay, and some joy sprinkled in there. But how
Yeah.
do you balance your artistry with project management? Because you are a project manager. How do you do that?
Um, a lot of sangria and prayer. No, I'm just I love a good gria.
She getting
Okay,
started already, y'all.
I love a good gria. Come on, sangria. Let's go out and have some sangrias. Um,
Oh.
Great question. Balance. Every day does not look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I would honestly have to say, Shell, I can get very overwhelmed and anxious very easy. So I try to block out times in my day where I'm like, okay, the top half of my day, I'll just focus on music tasks. And then the later part of my day, I'll focus on client work. But again, no day is ever created the same. And what keeps me balanced is literally paying attention to my body when I feel when I feel my heart is getting a little bit heavy or my mind is racing a lot. I'll say, hey, we gotta take a break and go take a walk, step
Mm.
outside, go pray, go journal, phone a friend. Shell, I'm having a moment. I just go in my little toolbox and
Mm-hmm.
just say, okay, I need to have some kind of release right now because I'm feeling a little out of balance. So, all of those different scenarios, it really just depends on the day and the situation. It's like if I get overwhelmed, like I said, I'll either pray, phone a friend, go stand outside for a quick minute, journal, breathe. I'm one of those people that'll just say, okay, let's breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we balance. Did that answer your question?
That totally 100% in, to the extent that I had to just type that into the comments. Pray, phone a friend, journal, and breathe. And I think what's so imperative about what you said is going into your toolbox, because the only
Mhm.
way that we can remain balanced is when we become truthful
Yep.
and that we're intentional about learning ourselves, right? What works for you. So
Yep.
even in those different seasons, and I know I didn't submit this to you as a question, but how do you determine which season you're in? How do you know, okay, this is a job for prayer. This is a
Mhm.
job for phoning a friend. This is a job for journaling. This is a job for breathing or taking a walk. How do you how do you make that decision, like which one you should be doing at that specific time?
That's a great question,
Sorry,
Shell.
I didn't send it ahead of time. It just came to me.
That's a great question. Something very similar. You said knowing ourselves. So it
Hmm.
really just depends on the situation. Like earlier today, I'll be transparent. I had a moment where I felt myself get anxious about
Mm,
something. I was in the I'll be honest, I was in the comparing myself mode. I was comparing myself to another situation. I'm like, this person got this going on. I was like, wait a minute. Your career is totally different than this person's. So it was just one of those moments where I had to just talk myself through it. And it was no point in phoning a friend because I already knew what my friend would say.
mhm,
So I just had to kind of just remind myself of, Sherry, this is not a healthy thing to do. We don't need to compare ourselves in this situation. So it really just depends. If something keeps coming up and I
mhm,
just can't get it to settle down, I'll first off breathe. That's always number one. No matter what's going on, I'll breathe. Like Sherry, just breathe, and then I'll pray. And then if it's really something really heavy on my heart that I just need to just talk, then I'll
mhm,
phone a friend. Hey, Shell, you got
mhm.
2 minutes? Something I can run by you? Or I'll text a friend and say, hey, you got like a quick 5 minutes? I just need to talk to you about something. So it just depends on if it's really, really, really heavy and I need to just process it out. There are a very select few of people I'll just say, hey, you got a quick 10 minutes for me to just kind of think something through with you. So yeah.
I think those are good nuggets. And that's, again, how we stay balanced, learning ourselves and then being true to what we need in that season. And thank you. Thank you for your transparency, because, of course, people out here acting like they don't fall down the tunnel of comparisonitis, as I call it.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Same.
horrible, dark tunnel of comparing yourself by yourself. And you know the word, Sherry. The Bible tells us that we shouldn't, right?
Right.
It's unfruitful, it's
Yep.
not wise, but we're still human. We're still
Yep.
having this human experience, I should say. So
Yes.
we still feel, and then social media throws everything in our faces continuously.
Yes.
So, yeah, we do have to talk ourselves off the ledge. So, thank you for that transparency because most people wouldn't even be honest about that.
Yeah. You gotta be
So
honest.
we do. And that's another part of balancing, right? Being
Yes.
honest with it. But that, of course, you can't know yourself without being honest with who you know. Like
That's
when you
it.
look in the mirror, who are you seeing for real?
Come
Not
on.
not who you presenting to the world or to social media, but who you seeing, who's
Come
looking
on.
back at you. And
Mirror, mirror.
then we can't start already. I didn't tell y'all or show y'all, but I gotta stand up for a second. And I know
Oh,
I'm all
what are you
wait.
doing?
Can you see that?
Oh Lord, girl, you got that shirt on.
I do. You see, I cut myself a little V in it, but yes,
Hell, you're so cute. Come on with the V. I cut my shoulder off. Give a little shoulder. Take it right back.
yes,
Come on with
yes,
the V.
yes.
Make
See
it
my
your
arm,
own.
y'all see
Thank
this.
you,
So
Shell.
yes, I decided to
You're
wear
so
my
sweet,
t-shirt.
y'all.
Getting back to the music, and I think that is imperative too for how we balance getting back to the things we love that gave us joy. But anyway, I'm not gonna dive in too fast. See how we get? See, y'all see, y'all see it
I'm
real close.
following your lead, Shell.
So, as you've shared about the balancing act and knowing when to go to God, when to phone a friend, and there is validity in talk therapy. It doesn't mean that every person you call is going to be a therapist, but as you talk
Yes.
through things, it has that therapeutic. If you talk to the right people now,
Yes,
you talk
ma'am.
to the wrong folks, you might leave that call worse off than you started. But
Fact.
if you talk to the right people, it can have that same healing effect almost. Okay. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that all your friends are therapists, but
Yeah.
sometimes with the
Yeah.
right people, it can have the same effect as if you would talking to a therapist. That
Yep.
healing salve that, first of all,
Relief.
you're hurt, girl.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that you're heard, that you're understood, and even also that sometimes people can give you insight and wisdom and looking from a different perspective that
Mm-hmm.
maybe you weren't looking at, that
Yeah.
gives you closure in that situation. So, Sherry, with this new season that seems to be fighting us tooth and nail, this COVID season,
Mm. The
we
C
tired,
word.
girl. We're tired of just saying COVID. Okay.
Yes.
That is enough. Okay. We've had enough. But within this season, how have you navigated this COVID season with your career? Because, and one part of your career specifically, getting back to the music, you are a
Mm-hmm.
performer, you are an
Mm-hmm.
artist, and COVID has
Mm-hmm.
caused us and forced us into our seclusion on
Yes.
some level. So, that hit a lot of people in a lot of different career aspects that hit us hard.
Yeah.
How have you navigated? What kind of changes did you make with your performances and your gatherings and interacting with individuals who are supporting you?
Oh,
I know.
COVID and music career. So, as you shared, I am a music artist and I have my own project management business. So, on the project management side of the house, things were fine for the
Mhm,
most part because I mean, we do everything virtually. So it's like, okay, let's get on the Zoom call, let's get on the phone call, let's kind of plan things out. Logistically, things were somewhat manageable, but then
mhm,
again, my clients had to shift as well because of COVID. But on the music side of the house, um, it COVID affected the music. Oh my gosh, very, very, very traumatically. Because as an artist, one of my biggest places of joy is performing live.
mhm,
So all during 2020, there were no options to perform live, and I did not realize how sad I could, like, when you don't have the option to do it, it's like taken
mhm,
away from you. You like cannot do anything. It affected me in a very, very, very deep way because I couldn't do it. And
mhm,
I had released my album in June of 2020, and to not be able to perform the music live, it was just very, very hard. I was very sad for a very long time, and just in a funk. because I remember every time, the notices that would come out about, all right, we're extending our shelter in home. Like every month, it was
Mhm.
just like, oh my God, is this going to be like the whole year? Because we thought it was just going to be a couple of weeks, then it turned into a month, and then it just kept going on and on and on. And so I just felt very sad, like very, very, very sad for a very long time, and almost kind of like a bit hopeless because I'm like, I didn't poured all this hard work, my team and I, into this album, and I thought 2020, like many of us, this is gonna be the year 2020. We coming out.
The
Hey,
year of perfect vision.
yes. Hello, perfect vision. We out here. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, March comes and it's like boom. And life has not been the same since. So that is how it affected me in as it pertains to the music career. It just really shut things down, and I had to get creative as best as I could with connecting with people online, which is still an adjustment for me because I'm used to being in person and you know that intimate one-on-one, and to not have it, it was very hard, very hard.
So, as you all can see, if you're watching live or on the replay, I'm looking to make sure that our connection is good because I don't see anyone in here, but that's okay. If you're
Okay.
watching on the replay, just type in the comments, hashtag replay, so that we can go back and see your comments and even comment, post this interview. But if you're watching, you are recognizing one beautiful aspect of Sherry Amour slash Sherry Trotter, and that is that this person is so very authentic and
Aw.
transparent. She does not pull punches. She does not hold back. She does it in a wise way, but also that she's even saying, hey, man, the effects of COVID had me sad. They
Mhm.
had me in my feelings, had me a little hopeless. And that's the truth of this season. All these people like, we just got to learn to pivot. Pivot was the
Mhm.
word. Sherry,
Yes, it
know how I
was.
felt about that word. Every
It
time I
was
heard
overused.
pivot, oh, I'm like, shut it up. Please stop it. Because, I had an event that I had to cancel.
Mhm.
Originally, we thought
Mhm.
postponed, and I'm like, man, bump this. And
Yeah.
that very thing that Sherry's talking about, that interpersonal, that specifically person to person contact, it when you're on a stage, and Sherry, I'm not professing to be a singer as Sherry. I'm not on a stage singing, but I also am a speaker. So when you're on a stage, you get a certain type of energy from the
Mhm.
crowd that
Yes.
is physical. You can feel them and you
Yes.
can feel their needs, and it
Yes.
propels you to go higher and to go deeper. And it's like almost prophetic in a sense, and I don't want to get too deep with that, but there's a feeling that you don't get virtually, even
Mhm.
though virtual has been a blessing too, and we're going to
Yes.
talk more about that later.
Yes. Yes.
So Sherry, in this COVID season, going through sadness and having to shift and pivot.
And pivot, darling.
Yes. How have you, because you and I have talked and we've been each other's support during this season.
Mhm.
We've had other support too. Sherry's got other friends and folks and family and all that, and I got other friends and folks
Yes,
and
you do.
family. But we've been very present in each other's lives.
Yes.
How have you prevented yourself from being exposed to or getting COVID? You said that you had to shift some performances you weren't doing, you weren't out there, you know, forward facing with the people and
Yeah.
the fans and the public. So
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of answers the question, but I want to go deeper in there.
Yes, ma'am.
What else did you do to prevent yourself from getting it?
Well, I'll say this.
Mhm.
Um, um, I, of course, wearing the masks, staying in the house, doing
Mhm.
all the things, sanitizing my hands. As
Mhm.
soon as I come from outside, I'm washing my hands. Just being very, strategic about my movement. And pretty much I was fine until
Mhm.
when was it? Like the towards the end of August, I actually contracted COVID. I got
Of this year,
of
right?
this year. I
Mhm.
got the vid. So like the end of August, literally going into September, I got COVID, and yeah, it wasn't just me and my family. Like my 12-year-old niece had it. her mom had it, my mom had it. I still to this day, I'm not exactly sure how I contracted it because
Mm,
I am a person that I still go get COVID tests every other week because
mm,
whether we are vaccinated or not, that's a whole nother conversation, to each his own. But I think that we all should still get tested frequently, or at least once a month, just to make sure you're okay. So
yes.
I did my regular routine um testing on like a Tuesday or something, and my test results came back negative. By the end of that week, like that Saturday evening, I'm starting to experience symptoms of like um loss of smell and feeling like really achy. And I was thinking like, is this a head cold? I was like, well, let me
Mm,
go, let me go get tested on Monday because I'm feeling weird and COVID is alive and well. So
mm-hmm.
then I got tested on Monday, and then the results came back Monday, or yeah, Monday. They came back that I was positive, and I was like, OMG, I got hit with the vid, and I don't know exactly how, because I was like, prior to this, I had negative test results. So I can't even really specifically pinpoint. Like,
Mm,
it could have been two ways. I had went to the doctor's off. I went to go actually get some iron infusion, and I was in the doctor's office. I was like, maybe that. Like,
mm-hmm.
I can't even really tell you like how specifically I got it. So that is how COVID, affected me. And I do my best to take my precaution. And like I said, I go get tested often. Like I actually had one the other day, just because I literally have it in my schedule.
Yeah.
When you said how you stay balanced, the calendar
Mm-hmm.
is my friend. She helps me stay balanced. That's the other part I forgot to mention. The calendar alerts, calendar invites are a real thing. If it ain't in the calendar, it ain't going down. But I have my little calendar reminders to go get tested every week or every other weekend. So yeah, that's how COVID, like, she came to visit me.
And as Sherry said, she's very organized, very structured. Yeah, very,
Uh-huh.
very organized and very structured.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there. So that leads us into, because as you were speaking, I was actively listening, actively engaged in listening. And some things were bubbling up for me like, okay, this person, I'm just removing myself from my relationship, looking as a bystander from the outside in. Okay, so this person is a project manager. And yes, you can do that virtually. So great. No big deal with COVID, right? But of course, if you
Mhm.
have projects, you have to reschedule, your work is getting slower, people have their deadlines. And then
Mhm.
adding that artist part, the performance, was it? I mean, how did you handle that? Because COVID is this respiratory thing, right? And
Mhm.
if you're a singer, like that's a
Yes,
big
ma'am.
deal. And it's messing with your breathing and your voice,
Yeah.
your vocal box, all these things. So, what role did your faith play? Um,
Mhm.
while you had COVID and all these thoughts, because we know how the enemy works, right? In our own
Yeah.
minds. Oh my gosh, will it affect my singing? Will I
Yep.
sound the same post COVID? We don't
Yep.
know how long it's going to take for me to heal and recover.
Yes.
What kind of impact did it have on your perspective and your career? And I mean, both careers.
Great question. I will say, I'll start on the client side, project management side. That's always the
Hmm.
easiest. And then, um, I remember when I had it, I had to reschedule some calls because
Hmm.
I knew talking was not gonna work. But I was able to, and I didn't want to notify the client. Like, I was keeping that private, like, hey, I need to reschedule because I'm not feeling well.
Hmm.
Because it's like when you share that you have it, it's almost like the plague, and people
Yes.
treat you really weird. So I was just
Hmm.
being very cautious about who I spoke to about it.
Hmm.
So as far as servicing my clients, I was instead of working like an extended amount of time like I normally would, I would just only dedicate maybe 90 minutes and then
Mm.
go lay down. And that would be it. And I would just kind of prioritize my client workload. But if there were any phone calls that were scheduled, I just rescheduled them, like, hey, I'm not feeling well, and just kept it to myself because I didn't want the whole, yeah.
Hysteria
Yes, I
and
didn't want
judgment and all these
yes,
things.
exactly. So on the music side of the house, career wise, it was very overwhelming because uh I didn't have challenges with breathing per se. Only when I would have coughing spells, I would have shallow breathing. But because I'm a singer, I'm used to doing breathing exercises. So I knew I
Wow.
did some like YouTube research on, like, breathing exercises for people with COVID. And so some of the exercises that I found, I was like, oh, okay, I'm familiar with this. I do this. So I would just literally stand flat foot in my room and just force myself to like breathe because it would feel a little tight in my chest area. So I knew, Sherry, we're familiar with this. We do this all the time. So I just was able to exercise my breathing, which
Hmm.
wasn't foreign to me. But as far as my faith was concerned, it was challenging because I knew I had a performance coming up, and I was like, I have no idea if I will be physically ready to perform, if I would have the stamina to perform, because it was a gig that I had that required me to be on my feet
Mm.
more than 30 minutes. It was
Hmm.
a very like intense kind of a performance. So I was very concerned, like, oh my God, will I have the stamina to do this? And then my mom, she had a pneumonia and had pneumonia, and she had to end up staying in the hospital for
Mm.
like 4 days, and she had to get breathing treatment. So that's really where my faith had to kick in, because I had no control over that. Like, the only way my brother and my sister and I could contact, we had to FaceTime her to like
Hmm.
see how she was doing. But seeing her like barely being able to breathe, and I remember texting my brother like, I don't like that no one can go up there with her. So that was really where I had to just surrender and trust God and say, okay, God, this is totally out of my control. Please take care of my mom. Like, I just literally had to do that. I'm getting emotional as I'm thinking about it now, but I remember the first night that she went in, and I'm texting her, and she's like, yeah, I'm hungry. And I'm like, oh gosh, my mom's hungry. She has pneumonia, and no one's there to like advocate to make sure that they're feeding her. So just all of those
Jesus.
things. So I was very I literally had nothing but my faith, and just was praying and like, okay, God, I trust you. I have nothing else to do right now but to just trust you, because I can't physically go there. No one can go there. But just to see my mother, get her strength back was encouraging as well. So that was one of the biggest challenges, and where I had to really exercise my faith, because that was something totally out of my control. And I mean, I'm having COVID, but seeing her not being able to breathe and having to get breathing treatment, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
mind shift that you're just not prepared for. We hear many stories of how this thing can go, and it's all over the place. So yeah, that's yeah.
And I have this answer, but everyone is not a part of your life like I am. How old is Mama Sharon?
Mama Sharon is 60. Hold on, let me do my math, y'all. How old am I?
I love it.
60, 62.
Mhm. And I wanted to share that part of it because, if they don't know her and you look so young, your mother could be my age, she could be 40 something looking at you, and she's not. And yet she did. So can you give them an update like on how she's doing, how you're doing?
Yes, yes. So my mother is she is a firecracker.
Yes,
She
she
has so
is.
much energy, and
Yes, she does.
I mean, seeing her barely being able to breathe, I was like, this I have never seen my mother like that. Was just only time I don't see her on high energy mode is when she's sleepy. But
Mhm.
she's well, she's good, she's back to her spunky self, back to being jazzy and out in these streets. Because she just loves to be out in the streets.
Mhm.
Going out, I mean, like
I
hanging
get it.
out.
I get it.
I gotta clarify that.
Oh,
She
yes.
loves Jesus, so when I say going out in the street, she's just going to, like, church events and
Yes.
gatherings with
Mhm.
friends, like that kind of thing. But she's well, she's back on her A game. I'm well. The gig that I had, I was able to do it and it worked out very well. And so yeah, I'm back to feeling much better and feeling like myself again. So I'm feeling much better. So I'll say in hindsight, when you going through things and then you look back over it, you can really see like, man, God's grace was real. And another thing about my faith, I am a firm believer that God uses people to
Yes.
help us. So I'm grateful for beautiful people such as you, Shell,
Mhm.
who were so supportive and helpful and making sure y'all Shell was cooking.
Oh,
She
come
made
on.
me the soup,
Girl, don't start,
this
please.
what was it?
It was an immunity soup.
Immunity soup. I couldn't eat a thing, y'all. I mean, I couldn't taste the thing.
Mhm.
But it just felt so good to my soul when it was so warm when it hit my stomach. But I couldn't taste nothing. I would literally get like, she was like, you can't taste it. I said no. I literally could only get like a faint like whiff. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
I think it tastes good. It was really faint. And then Shell made me some spaghetti because she made me promise her that I would not just starve myself. Because of course, when you're sick, you don't want to eat.
Mhm.
So one day I was like, I really just want some spaghetti. And so I was like, Shell, I'm going to do my part of the agreement, and would you mind please making me spaghetti? And she'll make some spaghetti, and it was so good, y'all. And I'm bringing all that up to say that encouraged my faith too, because you have to know that being a believer, in God and His grace and His mercy and all of the things, you have to just allow Him to love you. And the way that He loves you is through people. And
Yes.
if you don't allow people to love you and you walk around saying, woe is me, then
Mm.
shame on you, because you
Yes.
have people around you who
Girl,
are willing
speak,
to
please.
show up for you. And so
Mhm.
I had to just surrender and allow my faith to be stretched in that way of allowing the love of God to be shown on me through people like you, Shell, and other friends and family who were just, I mean, Johnny on the spot, calling, texting, you know, checking on me, FaceTiming, like those things meant a lot to me. So that's another reason or another way in which my faith was stretched. Because when you're used to being the giver, always making sure everybody else is okay. And then when you can't do nothing and you like, OMG, I have to just sit here and surrender and receive the help. That is
Mhm.
another level of stretching your faith that I did not realize was necessary. Because I could be a little control freak. But I'm getting better.
She is getting better. And I'm so glad you went down that path, even though I wanted to shrink over here because nothing that I did was for applause or for the public. It was because I love Sherry, right?
Appreciate
And
my sister.
then you know what? But um I think it's a very good reminder and a message for people because through social media, social media is a blessing from God. It 100% is. It can
Yes.
be. Um, Social media can also be a burden because if people use it the wrong way, or that kind of false responsibility that we have, like, oh, I gotta go post, I've got to go do this, and I've got to go do that. Yet the people that are in your life every day, they're there and they're not there, right? Because you're
Mhm,
kind of semi pseudo connected,
mhm.
and you're so focused on building career through social media. You're so
Yeah,
focused on, and you can miss those people that are right there that need you the most. But
yeah.
one of the most important things I think you said, Sherry said she can be controlling. I won't say controlling because she's totally not that for other people.
Oh,
She
yeah, no.
likes things in control. She likes the answers in her own life. She likes to be able to control the steps in her own life. With other
I ain't
people,
trying to
she's
control nobody else.
at all,
Too much
not at
work.
all.
That's too much work.
Not at all. But just it goes back to what you said earlier about knowing the difference to stay balanced, whether this is a situation or a season for prayer,
Mhm,
phoning a friend, journaling and breathing. And
mhm.
oddly enough, through your COVID journey, you had to execute all of those.
Yes, ma'am.
They all had a place.
Yep.
Prayer, phoning a friend, being vulnerable to even accept help,
Yep.
journaling. I'm sure
Yep.
because I know you were journaling
Yes.
and breathing, like the
Yes.
literal
Literally.
responsibility of breathing during that season of COVID.
Yes.
Hey, Nene. Nene said, let's see. Nene, let's put her comment up there. She said, I'm definitely going to catch this rewatch. Love you both. Love you too, Nene.
Oh, hey, girl.
My Nene. But yeah, that it's all cohesive and all intermingled and tied into living a balanced life. And I just want to remind you all, without taking too much time away from Sherry, but Sherry was talking about, being vulnerable and receiving the help and receiving the love and all this stuff and receiving the attention that people were giving her because they love her. But she got all of this back. And you heard me say back because these were seeds that she sown.
Hmm.
Sherry has been the support. She has been that loving, giving, kind person. Sherry used to track me down in our early friendship. Girl, you laughing, but you know it's true. Early on in our friendship, for those of you who know me, you know what I used to struggle with. But early on in our friendship, because we've been friends a little over 15 years,
Mhm.
I would go MIA. I was still
Mhm.
dealing with the depression and trying to climb out, but at the same time, not knowing how to love and how to receive love, even though that was something I wanted so desperately. When it came to me in this little bowl of sherry, okay, I was like, whoa, too much, too much, too much. And
Uh-huh.
and not too much as in she was too much, but Sherry is a very genuine person. Like,
Aw,
there
thank
are very few Sherrys in the world anymore that really are kind to their core, really love people, rarely ever has a bad word to say about anybody. She's
It's
just
a
a
short
loving.
list, but I
I
got
said I said rarely, right? But just genuinely a kind and loving and giving person. So she's given all of this stuff out, but then we sometimes we can sit in the seat of victim when we're like, God, I give and I do and I do and I do, and nobody's here when I need them. Well, are you
Mhm.
letting them be there?
That
Because
part
God had
right
to show
there.
me,
Yep.
He had to show me and rebuke me years ago. You talk about, you're a giver, you are a giver, Michelle, but you got to learn how to receive.
Mhm.
Like, because the very thing you say you want, when it comes knocking at your door, do you refrain from receiving it? Do you hide? Do
Mhm.
you, oh, no, 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 I'm going to be okay, because you're so accustomed to being in the driver's seat of control over your own
Yep.
life. And sometimes situations will happen. And we've talked about COVID, career, and faith part. The faith part is things are going to happen to Christians.
Mhm.
Christians died with COVID.
Yes.
Things are going to happen, but it's not that we should be sitting up surprised like, how could COVID hit me, I'm a believer.
Mhm.
No, think it not strange concerning there's some stuff that's going to hit you, but how do you recover? How do you respond? How do
Yep.
the people around you? So we have to be very aware of the seeds that we're sowing, number one,
Yep.
because you never know when you're going to have to reap a harvest,
Yep.
and number two, that when the harvest comes, that you receive it with grace.
Yes.
So
Amen.
I was so proud of Sherry because I did tell her after the soup, I was like, look, now I know you, okay? What I do not want
This is
is
exactly what
you,
you said.
because Mama Sharon was in the hospital at the time, and I dropped the soup off. My heart broke when I saw Mama Sharon on the other side of that door about to get the soup. This is
Mhm.
before she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And the hubs drove us out there, and I got this pot and I leave it on the porch. And I'm like, I can't look at her. I gotta run. I
Aw.
literally
Yeah.
ran back. I told her I loved her and ran back to the car because my heart broke, because
Aw.
this woman is so bubbly and so full
Yeah.
of life. And
Yeah.
she's just, the apples don't fall far from the tree, is my point.
Aw.
So I had to literally have a conversation with Sherry. Like, what I don't want is you sitting over there not eating because Mama Sharon's sick. So she's in the hospital. She can't monitor you. And I know you. You so self-sufficient. Nah, I'm good. I'll just have a this. I'll just have a peach in 24 hours. Girl, if you don't stop, you have to agree that if you want something, if you're hungry, it should, because at first I was like, what else can I cook for you? The first one though, I didn't even tell her, I didn't give her the option of not of telling me, no, don't bring the soup. I had already looked up an immunity
She did.
recipe for soup.
She had her mind made up.
And I told her what I was doing.
Yeah, she
It
did
wasn't
it.
any, Sherry, are you hungry? Do you want,
She just
let
moved.
me find this immunity. I know it's some immunity recipes, soup recipes out there. Let me just do it. Tell her, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be at your house at such and such time.
Right.
What?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's another message for you people who are out there watching. And,
Mhm.
you have friends who are very self sufficient.
Yep.
And I'm one of those friends too, because I act the same way that Sherry does.
Mhm.
But,
Yes, she does.
and Sherry has had to usurp her authority in my
Yes.
life over
This is what
my,
I'm doing.
exactly, without even, no, I want to hear nothing, Shell. This is what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So for you individuals who have friends and family members who love people who are very self-sufficient, very organized, want to control things in their life, and they need help, be sensitive to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to insert yourself
Yep.
and apply your authority and say, nope, I know, and I'm flowing of God. This is what I'm going to do for you.
Yep. That's it.
And don't let them say no.
You don't.
And also,
Oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Sherry.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say too. The interesting thing when I was going through it, and no, like I was grateful for friends
Mm-hmm.
who would say, "Hey, let me know if you need anything." And being on the other side of that, I was like, I'm not gonna tell you if I need anything because I can easily do the Instacart. Like it's those things, and of course people don't think about it, but it was me being in that situation and then seeing how Shell was like, "This is what I'm doing." And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, okay." Versus let me know if you need anything, because 9 times out of 10, a person who is, like you said, very self sufficient, they're gonna figure it out, kind of thing. I'm not going to. I'm not going to ask you unless it's like,
It's
well,
dire.
it's dire. And I had
And
to,
and Sherry doesn't want to put people out. She doesn't want to inconvenience anybody.
yes, yes,
So she could need it, but then think, well, I can crawl around and make it happen for myself.
crawl around. Fact. You're right.
So, yeah, for you individuals out there with people like this in your lives, and if you're
Yes.
that person, just take the ownership and the authority, of course, within reason and respect. I wasn't kicking the door
Oh, yeah,
in,
no.
but with respect, and
Yeah.
that I think speaks a lot to how we love on people.
Yes,
It speaks a lot to that.
I agree. I
So,
agree.
because
Love.
Sherry has done that in times where I'm like, she like, Shell, if you don't answer this phone, I'm gonna be at your door. And I'm like, oh, let me answer the phone because I don't want her
I
open.
wouldn't play with you, but
And
I
that was
understand you have your space. However,
that
so too much space is taking place.
now for pride's sake, that was a long time ago, y'all. I'm better now,
Yes,
okay?
she is. Yes, she is. We don't have no problems. We don't have no problems at all.
I am better now. So let's get back on track. But I just wanted to give that little caveat like, hey, yeah, we have to really show up for people. And in
Yes.
the process, people will show up for us.
Amen.
So do you think that we've talked about so much balance and the perspective and what effect COVID had on your career and your life and your thoughts, and even how you had to step out on faith to know that, you know what, I'm going to be fine. I don't have to cancel this gig. As you said,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
update, you were able to perform at the gig.
I had a whole backup plan.
And that's what I was about to say. Can you speak? And I know we have another question after this, but can you speak on or speak to the backup plan? Because you were talking about the support, and I have the insight to know a conversation that you had with your band
Mhm.
as it relates to support. Can you share with the audience what that was? A little bit of it.
Yes. Share about the backup plan or my conversation with the band.
The band. You could do backup plan too if you want, but
Okay, so with the band, one of my dear friends, Mr. Nathiano, um,
whoop whoop.
yes, I love him. He was like, Sherry, now, do not think you got to sit here and just sing all the songs like by yourself. We got you. Like just sit back and you do what you need to do, but don't overextend yourself. If you need me to sing a song, I
Mm-hmm.
got you. If you need, Paul who plays on the drum, you need him, like we got you. And I was like, okay. So just having that support meant so much to me. with the people I work with. Like, these are people that I love and respect dearly. So it wasn't like a, well, go ahead and figure it out. Like, we'll be back here
Mhm.
doing this. You're gonna have to figure it out up there. But
Mhm.
it was a, let's pick the songs that you think will be, okay for you, and won't be where you won't be overextending yourself. And just know you got me. If you need me to sing a song, you just give me the nod and I got you. So, like, okay. And that was the conversation that I had. And my guys were very patient and cool with me, and they was like, Sherry, you got this, it's cool. And they had me. Like, they were very supportive, and that makes a world of difference, having a
Mhm.
team of people who are professional, and they also genuinely care about you. So they're willing to figure out, how do we make this work where you not walking away from this thing, you know, not feeling well,
Mhm.
worse than when you came in.
Right. So that just speaks again to the level of support and the importance of having a good community around you, right?
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
as you said, they could have been like, well, if you're not feeling well, then maybe you need to give this opportunity to somebody else. And that's it.
Exactly, exactly. But I had a whole backup plan. I have a dear friend who I called and was like, "Oh my gosh, I got
Mhm.
the vid and I got some gigs coming up. What we gonna do, girl?" And so she came up with a whole plan. Like, I got you, Sherry. This is how we're gonna do this.
Mm.
And we had a whole game plan. Shell knows all of the details, but
Mhm.
I was very cautious with that as well, like, because I didn't want any hysteria around it. Like, I
Mhm.
just knew that the amount of time I needed to heal and quarantine would be enough time. But I knew if I physically wasn't able, that the breathing was gonna be an issue, then I was like, okay, then I'm gonna, have my friend take this gig and tear it up, throw down on the
Mhm.
gig. But she was very supportive as well. Like, she had my back, so that was another thing, having support. So shout out to Miss Sultry James. But yeah, so teamwork, I always say it, teamwork makes the dream work. That is a core value of mine that I live by. Teamwork. If you are not a team player, we cannot play. We can't be friends. We can't be
Yes.
together. We can't go on no date. We can't do nothing
Yes.
if you're not a team player.
Oh, did you say a date?
Yes, girl. Because
Okay.
men
Mm.
out here who are not team players and are just all about themselves, and you can just feel it. You like, we can't rock because you all about yourself.
So I wanted to say something else, but I'm gonna drop that in, and then we're going on to this next one because she did say date. She dropped that.
Um,
Okay. Uh-huh. So I wanted to say, just an FYI, guys, an update before Sherry even walked into that opportunity to perform. She received her negative COVID
thank you,
that
Shell.
test, right?
Yes, and I
And that
got
was a
released. A
yeah, she was released.
Yes,
So yes.
the
Um,
Illinois Department of Health, they check on you when they find out that you
mm,
have it. They call you. They
wow.
do these like survey check-ins every day
Oh
via
wow.
text, and they call you once you're done with your quarantine time,
Hmm.
and they check on you and your symptoms, and then they send you a release form. Like, it's a whole process. They don't play.
Wow.
They don't play nothing.
Okay, so Sherry mentioned dating. Sherry is single,
I am
and
single.
ready to mingle, y'all. So
Hey,
if you
we been
know
out here
some
mingle.
really good quality black men, please hit my inbox because I'm gonna weed through them. Okay.
Ooh,
But
Shell don't play.
I do not. Okay. Playing I don't do. Okay.
I keep Shell on her toes, y'all.
Yes, she does.
I be like, Shell, let me tell you about this guy. She be like,
Y'all,
oh,
please send help. Please send me help, okay? Because this one does keep me on my toes.
yes.
So, Sherry, do you think, having talked about COVID and your career and careers, both of them, project management, being an artist, a performer, a singer, a songwriter, um, and you're single and you desire marriage and you desire children and all these things. Do you think it's possible? Because I see women saying, girl, you can have it all. You can have everything at the same time. Do you think it's possible to have it all? To have, your faith walk is balanced, your dating life is balanced, and your career is balanced, and all of them are productive at the same time?
Um, I am actually starting to believe that I think no, not like literally all at the same time.
Thank
'Cause I
you.
remember I remember, First Lady Michelle Obama. She is my forever first lady.
Of course.
Forever First Lady Michelle Obama.
Uh-huh.
She said that in one of her interviews, like, it's not possible to have it all at the same time. You can have it all, but just not at the same time. And I think about that because I'm gonna be transparent here. I was chasing that for a
Mm.
while, trying to
Mhm.
have it literally all at the same time. Like, I would obsessively try to have it all at the same time. Like, okay, I got this project going. I'm gonna be dating, and I'm gonna have this. Like, trying to literally have it controlled to try to have
Mhm.
it all at the same time. And I've noticed every time that I've tried to do that, I've still felt out of balance.
Mm.
So I do believe that it is possible to have all of the things, but not literally at the same time, because everything just has an ebb and flow to it. So I've learned to literally just, um as my song says, just drive and just just
Mm.
just enjoy the ride. Literally just drive and just and enjoy the ride. Like,
Mhm.
we here in Chicago, so be driving down Lakeshore Drive on a beautiful day, you just enjoying the drive and taking in the scenes and enjoying the journey of wherever you're preparing to go to. So that's kind of my take on it. Like, you can have it all, just not all at the same time, and just be present with where you are in the journey. So yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
And for those of you out there who might be married and you're watching this and you're saying, "Girl, please, you can have it all. I'm married. I got my faith in line and my career is productive." But be honest, sis. eh,
Be honest.
That's an insider for me and Sherry. Be
Yes.
be honest, sis. Your husband has had to sacrifice having and spending and investing time with you at some
Mhm,
points in your relationship because your career was so demanding and it
mhm.
commanded your attention when
Yes.
he wanted your attention. Be,
Yep.
be, be honest, sis.
Yeah. Be honest, sis.
You went to sleep without praying.
Mm.
You spent 2 weeks without even saying hi or boo to God because you were so busy, and your
Mhm.
husband needed your attention, or
Yeah.
that date or that guy you're courting. Be
Yeah.
honest, sis.
Yes.
Sometimes we're on a seesaw of life and you're up in one area and maybe not so up, a little bit down in another area.
That's so true, Shell. That's
Mm,
and Imma be
mm,
honest,
mhm,
I had to get to a point with being single.
mhm,
I said this season that I'm in right now, I will never have this again when the next season comes of being
mhm,
married and having children. The amount of time I've been able to have with growing these two businesses and investing in my passion with music, these different projects, I know. Like, I literally had a talk with myself literally the other day.
mhm,
Like,
mhm,
things are gonna look a lot different come
mhm,
2022 with how you've been able to invest
mm,
wholeheartedly, unapologetically,
mhm,
with your music projects and all of the other things, because there's about to be some changes in my life. And so, as a single woman, it's like we can be so fixated on the next thing
mhm.
and not being fully present of where we are, because when the next thing comes, it's not going to be the exact, like, things are going to have to shift. I'm not going to be able to say, oh, I'm about to do this project, so
Mhm,
let me budget this amount of money to do X. Like, no, I'm gonna have to check with with the husband and be
mhm,
like, yo, fam, what we doing? So
mhm.
it's one of those things that I had to really think about, or just to get up and go take a trip if I wanted to, because I enjoy taking trips by myself and meeting
Yes,
new
she
people
does.
and meet some cool people while I'm out.
Yes, she does. All in
What happens in
DC.
these places
Uh-huh.
stays in these places.
Mhm.
But I know I ain't gonna be able to do all of that. So, but
Mhm.
I've just genuinely been enjoying that part of the journey, because the next chapter will look different.
And so Sherry referenced Just Drive, which is
Just
one of her singles on her CD. And that
yeah.
takes us to my t-shirt. I'm going to show the folks that missed it.
Come
That
on
says
back to the music. Yes,
Back to
yeah.
the music. Y'all see Sherry
So
dancing
cute.
on my shirt. So
So cute.
yes. But yeah, that takes us to music. So Sherry, as we have said, is Sherry Amour, and Sherry is a whole performer out in these here streets. Sherry, how has music affected your faith and mental health? Because we've heard music soothes the savage beast, I think it is. And
Mhm.
how has it affected you?
Music is one of the greatest gifts God has given. I often say to him, "Thank you for giving the gift of music to enjoy, and
Mm-hmm.
you giving me the gift of music to share." And
Mm-hmm.
so it's such a powerful tool to connect people in a way that is forever. Like
Yeah.
I wish whenever I hear someone say, "Man, I really enjoyed such and such song of yours." And I'm so grateful, but I so wish sometimes I could like be inside of the person to like experience whatever it is that they are experiencing when they hear the music. Like I wish I could just like, but as a giver of a gift, you that's the part that you can never that was the gift for them to
Yeah.
have that experience with whatever you gave. But it's such a heartwarming gift that I am forever grateful to God to give, and I do my best to make sure I am a good steward over it, and I just know that I'm a vessel to share. That's it. Like I love to connect with people through the music,
Mm-hmm.
but I also know that I'm just a vessel, so I got to take care of myself to make sure that I'm well to share with others. And how music has helped my mental health, because I am a writer, I'm able to express and release that energy in a creative way. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
stay pent up. And then, one of my reasons for doing music, I say I create music to bring comfort in conversation. So
Mm.
it's my way of not only providing healing for myself and an outlet, it's the same thing for someone else, putting words and melodies and music to thoughts and emotions and experiences that we have, whether good, bad, or indifferent. So yeah.
That is beautiful, and I better not see because when you said it, it just jumped off the screen at me. Comfort and conversation. That is the name of a talk show. That's one. I don't know if you want to create it. I hope it's not already made, but that's definitely a hot name for a talk show. Comfort and conversation.
She
Hmm.
not
So
giving me no job. I ain't taking it.
I'm just saying that I would watch it, comfort and conversation. But anyway, okay, yes,
I'll put
that's
it in my
beautiful.
back pocket, Shell, okay?
Yes, yes, yes. Put it in your back pocket.
Comfort and
So,
conversation.
I know our next question, my next question. Here I go again, talking in the form of we. It's one of me in here.
Girl,
Um,
that's fine.
I was going to ask you about how important community is as it relates to being an artistpreneur and a Christian and a woman. But I think we've hammered in that response already, that answer. It's everything. We need community. Sherry has talked about community in almost every question. So, for the sake of time and the fact that we have talked about this extensively, I'm going to leave Sherry to share some things with you. But before we do, I want to share my screen. Sherry, can you make the announcement? Because people have probably seen it. Can you make the announcement? I'll share my screen. Then I'll leave the last few minutes with you to share all of your upcoming projects and any
Ma'am.
words of wisdom you'd like to express.
Yes, ma'am. I just want
Mhm.
to say I see my cousin Desiree. Hey
Yes.
cousin. Hey
Hey,
cousin.
Desiree.
Hey
Hey,
cousin.
beautiful.
Pew 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 pew. I love that
Wait.
sound.
Oh,
That's my favorite
wait.
sound.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Y'all ready?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Please tell me I didn't lose my battery.
Where can I get? Yes! Now where you get that from?
You see it?
Yes!
Y'all see it? Wait, is it upside down? Oh no. Hype and
Now where
cheer.
you get this from?
Girl, my favorite person. Amazon.
I love that. Yes, yes, I love that sound.
She does love that sound.
It is the
Okay.
best sound ever. Okay, it does
Uh-huh.
something to my soul. I don't care if I'm listening to some music and it be like, Bill, Bill. I be like, yeah.
Love you too, Desiree.
Sorry, y'all. Just the sound alone got me hyped up. I'm going to
Yes, I love it.
yeah, I'm gonna center myself.
Mm.
The announcement. Bill, 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 Bill. So beautiful people. Yes,
Go ahead, girl.
yes. as
Okay,
of
so
as of yesterday, my team and I, we have announced officially we are presenting to you for your viewing pleasure, beautiful people, a virtual concert on Thanksgiving night. It is Sherry
woo.
Moore presents Mirror Mirror, the virtual concert experience. Pew, 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 pew.
Yes.
I love this sound. It gets me together every time.
Why didn't I get you one of these? I
I
totally
don't
gotta
know,
ship
bro,
one to your
because
house.
I drive people crazy.
Don't get one. I'm gonna get you one. But go ahead.
I drive people crazy. I'm like, I don't care. Pew, pew, pew,
You
pew,
will have it. You will have it.
pew, pew. But yeah,
So
so we have this virtual concert that is going to. I'm so excited to share it for Thanksgiving. To your earlier question about COVID and how it affected my career, I can wrap it in and say this: that I had all the plans of doing this whole album release concert. Had the contract in my inbox on a Wednesday. That Friday, we got notice that we have to shelter in place. Or what is the correct term? Is it shelter in home?
that was it. That
Shelter
was
in place.
shelter in place.
That Friday, the whole world shut down. I was like, oh, guess the plan of the album release ain't finna happen. Okay. So, long story short, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So my lemonade has been this virtual concert that is in support of my album Mirror Mirror that came out last year, and I'm so excited to present this virtual concert because it is going to be a concert experience full of good music, soulful, reflective conversations, and beautiful wardrobe changes. I ain't bragging on me. I'm bragging on the team. Like I
Yes.
literally just was just sitting there like a clothes on some hangers. Like this, how you want me to dress? How you want me to do this? But yes, I'm so proud of this body of work that my team and I put together to provide some fun and entertainment on Thanksgiving. Because I know Thanksgiving. Hey, Lynn, that's my girl, Lynn. Oh,
Okay,
she got
so
her ticket. Hi,
real
Lynn. Thank you,
real
Lynn.
fast, y'all. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. I have to share my screen real fast. I know we're at the end, and I'm not gonna keep sharing for too long, but Lynn just kicked this off. She says she has her
Hey,
ticket.
hey,
Lynn,
Lynn.
Lynn got
Thank
a
you, Lynn.
ticket.
That's my
Lynn
friend,
got a
my
ticket. Yes, she
girlfriend.
does. She got a ticket. And because Lynn has her ticket, I'm sure Lynn also has this because, of course, this is my sister. Of course, I got my ticket. What about y'all?
Bam, bam, bam,
If
bam,
you got your
bam.
ticket, you got this. Y'all see that?
That comes in your email confirmation. You just click on that link and you have access to that. Yes, that is your virtual access badge for early bird ticket holders. And you can post it on your social media and tag me in it as Amour Music. And so that is for those who get the early bird tickets. That is your official virtual badge.
Yes. So Desiree, I hope you have your ticket, and if you do, please post your badge and tag Sherry Amour Music, Lynn. Please, I'm sure you have your badge, Lynn. Post. We got to get these tickets sold. Help Sherry. That's community again, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so y'all, man. Can I? Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
No, don't shut up. Come on.
I'm gonna say this. When I posted the official announcement yesterday, literally 1 minute later, I was like, "What did I just do? I just went public with this virtual concert. Are people gonna buy tickets? Are people like just all of the questions?" And just to see the support that's pouring in just gets me so excited because I know the beautiful people, y'all gonna have a really good time, enjoying this music. And yeah, it's just gonna be fun. I'm just so excited. So yes, this is a God thing, and I'm on the train. I'm on the train.
I'm stopping myself. Nina Nicole, you know Nina, my
Uh-huh.
Nina. She purchased her ticket. I was like, yeah, thank you. And I know she's like, why is Michelle saying thank you? It's not her concert.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
I'm like,
you.
on behalf of Sherry Amour Music, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you, Shell.
Desiree said she has to get it. She feels behind. Yeah, girl, you don't want to be left behind. Go get your ticket,
Yes,
okay?
girl. SherryMooreMusic.com and check out the promo trailer for it so you can see a snippet of the virtual concert. The promo trailer is really dope, so you can kind of get a feel for what's going to be going on that night.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now, but I'm all
Pew,
official
pew,
with
pew,
my badge.
pew. Yes,
Oh
you
wait,
official, sister. You official.
every time you do it, girl.
Get me one.
I'm getting
Oh,
it.
wait a
Don't
minute.
worry.
You're good. Okay, I'm not going to get it.
You're not getting it. I'm gonna get it for you.
I'm
Okay,
going to
so
drive people
sorry.
crazy. I'm like,
I
my sister got me that. You're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to get over it.
I will be ordering it when we get off this live right here. But Lynn, thank you so much. I don't know you, but
Lynn
thank you for
is a
being
dope
here.
music artist. She
Oh
is a
wow.
dear friend of mine, and she's just all things wonderful.
Well, welcome, Lynn. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to post your badge, girl.
I
When I'm so goofy. When I posted my badge, I put my initials in the middle so that nobody could steal
got
the.
to go look at the post because I ain't been on the media of social like 5 minutes before we did this interview. I need to catch up. Y'all got
Girl,
scheduled time to
I
get
need
on the internet.
Jesus. I seriously went into the photo
I'm
and
gonna
put
look
my
today.
initials so nobody could steal it to pretend that they purchased the ticket and share it. I was like, no, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to actually purchase the ticket
You're
so
so
you don't have
sweet,
my
girl.
initials in it. Don't play me. I'm goofy, I know. Thank you,
Yeah, you're
Lynn.
so cute.
Anyway, last few minutes to Sherry. So we know about the virtual concert taking place on Thanksgiving, which is beautiful and wonderful. For all you amazing people out there, don't forget. I know men like to watch football. I don't even know if they're gonna be playing football on Thanksgiving
Y'all
with
could
COVID.
spend 1 hour looking at
But
a dope
that's what I was about to
concert.
say. Women, yeah, now y'all know our influence. We can influence them. Tell them, babe, I got this thing. I know you're watching your game, but go ahead and record it because I got this
Yeah,
thing I want you to watch, and it's gonna bring us closer. We're gonna have a good night
yeah,
tonight. I bet you he
yeah.
turned that football off. Okay, so I'm just saying.
But the men gonna like it too.
That's why I
Because it's
said,
very
yeah.
visually nice. It's very nice visually.
And
The
it's
team has
music. It's
and
some
it's music.
hot,
It's
hot, hot music. And I'm not saying that just because it's Sherry. This is my favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite project of hers thus far.
oh,
Absolutely love
yeah,
it.
I
So,
appreciate it.
anything else you'd like to leave with the people? Any messages, any words of encouragement? As we see Sherry Amour, the artistpreneur, she is just like any other person dealing with the same stuff, maybe in a different language than we hear it, but it's the same issues that we all have. We all go through seasons. Shout out to Seasons, Sherry's project. What was that? Your first project?
That's my first. Yep, my first.
Yes.
Yep.
But we all go through seasons, but the way that we get out of it is going back to Sherry's comments from the beginning, how to live a balanced life. It is what did you say? Pray. Through prayer, through, of
Yes.
course, God, what is going on with my screen? Through prayer. Sometimes you got to phone a friend. That's
Yes.
community.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to write it down, write the vision, make it plain in your journal, your reminders to yourself, your vision boards, whatever it
Yes.
is. And then sometimes you have to breathe and walk and exercise and remind yourself that you're living, and that is the gift of God. So if you're alive, you have the ability, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the challenges are that you face, if you are alive, you have the ability to walk in balance and change those circumstances. Of course, based on the season in your life, of course, according to your portion that God has already given. But these are the ways that we stay in tune. And of course, wrapping it all up with a bow, you have to be honest with where you are.
Amen.
You
Yes.
cannot change something you refuse to acknowledge the truth about. You can't promote good positive change in your life if you're lying about what's going on.
Facts.
So Sherry, what would you like to leave with the people? Don't forget to purchase your ticket to get your badge. And what else, my dear?
Thank you, Shell. My sister don't play. I love her. Thank you for being so supportive since day one. It means the world to me. So thank you, sister. What do I want to leave the people? Oh, well, if y'all interested in purchasing the tickets, you can get your tickets at SherryAmourMusic.com.
Let me type that in.
But what do I want to leave with the people? Honestly, Shell, to just keep going, don't give up. I have to tell myself that literally every single day. One
Mhm.
like one moment out the day, it's like, come on, Sherry, keep going, don't stop, keep going, don't stop. So just that's my word to leave with the people. Don't stop, keep going. Whatever it is that you are questioning if you should do or shouldn't do, but you feel like it's something that's for your good and for God's glory,
Mhm.
um, do it. Do it afraid. It's not gonna you ain't gonna never feel like doing it or feel at peace about doing it. Like that's a false sense of reality. Like you just gotta do it anyway. So don't give up, keep going. That's it. That's it. That's my last thing. Like my project was a project I was working on for years.
Mhm.
But it is a project that I hope inspires people to know that no matter how long it takes to accomplish something that you know is important, you just keep going, don't stop. And that's it.
And Sherry, I know I said I'm going to leave you with the last word, but just to echo what Sherry said, don't stop. This project she said she's been working on for a while. This is a baby that she was walking around in different stages in that pregnancy, carrying this dream, carrying this vision. It's now walking in the earth. It's now alive and kicking and breathing.
Yeah.
Just as when we have children, we have no clue what these children are going to grow to be. She
Wow.
has no clue the impact that this release, this baby, is going to have in the earth. But I guarantee you one thing: if you will invest in that baby while you're carrying that baby, and you're investing and you're taking your prenatal vitamins and you're eating the way you're supposed to be and you're resting and you're giving them all the nutrients and all the gifts and everything that you have, you're giving it, you're sowing it into that baby, as Sherry did. A lot of money, a lot of blood, sweat and tears,
Mhm.
prayer and exhaustion and input from other people, and having the community that she has, the music community and her family and all these things. But she put everything she had into it. And if you will put everything that you have into that vision, that baby, that seed that is sown into you, when it births forth, because you've put all that is good and perfect
Mhm.
and loving and kind and gentle and producing into that thing, it shall grow and bless the earth. Just
Yeah.
as some of those kids that we've had have done. My
Yeah.
daughter is 28. She's gone through a whole lot of zigs and zags, but she is blessing the earth because of what I put into her. So,
Amen.
whatever gift God has given you, whatever He's called you to do, that you would continue to sow the seed and not get weary in your well doing, but in faith, believe and don't stop. And when it is produced into the earth, when it's born as that baby, as Sherry's getting back to the music is, it will produce and it will reap a harvest based on the seeds that was sown into it. And
Amen.
Sherry has sown some good seeds into this project. I love this CD. Anyway, I do. She knows I do.
Thank you, Shell. I appreciate
Anyway, I
you.
can't wait till you guys hear it. I don't know if I gotta shut up, because I was literally, when I got the badge, I'm like, maybe I should figure out how to get a space to do a listening party, and everybody that bought their tickets can come to a space, and we can. My brain is like all over the place, so we
You
can.
so sweet, girl.
But
We
girl,
gotta
that's
keep
on
it simple,
Thanksgiving.
Shell.
That is on Thanksgiving. Who coming? Like, everybody coming. That's the whole point of virtual, being in your home, in your
The
house,
comfort of your
being
home.
comfortable and being able to be in your pajamas and jamming and getting back to the music. So
That's it.
Sherry,
That's all I
I
want to do for. That's all I
girl,
want to do for the people on Thanksgiving.
yes,
Just
yes.
just kick it.
And Thanksgiving of all times. That is beautiful and
And
amazing.
I'm
And
gonna have to say this because it
please.
wasn't my idea.
Okay.
A friend of mine gave me the idea. Because I've been carrying this
Mm-hmm.
virtual concert for a very long time. We
Mm-hmm.
we did this back in March,
Mm-hmm.
and a dear friend of mine was like, "You should release it on Thanksgiving," and I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Hear me out," and he made a good point. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
friend. I appreciate you, friend.
Thank you, friend. And also, you know how folks tend to overeat on Thanksgiving, right?
Hmm.
They can get up and jam and burn off some of those calories as they get back to the music in this concert.
Yeah,
Okay. So you don't have to
yeah,
go to sleep fat. Okay.
yes. Come on, come on.
We're
And then
going to work.
if you like the songs that you're hearing, you could be like,
Yeah.
let me pull it up on the tunes of the
Yeah.
iTunes or the Spotify, and just Goo, you know?
On the tunes of the eye. I am done, y'all. See, we could just
iTunes
be out
or
here
the
acting
song
a
of the
plum
sky, which is
fool. See?
Spotify. Come on. And the play of the Google Play, however
Woo!
you choose to listen to your music.
See, y'all, if I don't stop, y'all gonna be like, what did I just tune into?
No, but the whole hope is that for everyone to have a good time. And I'm gonna say this, I know the holidays can be
Mm,
hit or miss for some
yes.
of us, and I just want to be able to be a soft landing space, a safe space for anyone in which the holidays pose a challenge. So
Mm,
for that moment in time, you can just feel comforted in knowing, like, I get it, I understand. It's
yeah.
some crazy things that happen in life, but just come groove with us and have a good time that night, and just know that I fully understand how you're feeling.
Yes. Yes, yes, and amen. So I thank you. We have been here an hour and almost 15 minutes. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are on the replay, please hashtag replay. Leave your comments, leave your questions. Sherry will be, well, I'll be tracking this live and making sure if there's any questions that you have for Sherry. If you want to purchase tickets, we have the link in there. It's sherryamourmusic.com. Go purchase your tickets now so that you can get your badge, your exclusive badge. And I hope to see you all soon. I hope to see you going and purchasing your tickets and bombarding Sherry with tags because you've gotten your badges and you've
Thank
purchased your
y'all.
tickets and you're sharing her links and all these things. And not just Sherry. When you see people doing well, when you see people doing good things for the earth, for the kingdom, for God's word, share it out.
Come
Help
on.
help them, because in the process you're helping the kingdom of God, because Sherry gives and produces quality things, and that's not
Thank
just
you, Sarah.
Sherry. She's one of many in a community of really out there sowing good seeds to produce good fruits. So I appreciate you, Sherry. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to
Thank
each and
you.
every viewer. I have had so much fun. My heart is light. My heart is light. I appreciate
Mine is
you.
like too.
Love you,
I
Sherry.
was nervous, y'all, coming on here because I'm very shy. I am. I'm really an introvert. Sheila, don't do that. You know I am. I'm an
Girl.
artist. We know how to zone out, but
Yes,
inside we
yeah.
be like, oh Lord, give me sin.
I know, but she's talking to me, talking about she's nervous. Anyway, I thank you all. Share this out because I'm sure it's going to help someone. It's not just about Sherry's music, but it's about the impact of prayer and faith
Yes.
and challenges. That's what COVID was. That's what COVID is. It's a challenge to all of us. Lynn is cracking up. Thank you, Lynn, because you know, girl, if you know Sherry,
Hey, Lynn girl.
girl, bye. Um, but this is more than just promoting Sherry's music. It is to that, what did you say, comfort and conversation. That's
Yes.
really the name of this live, comfort and conversation with
You
Sherry
really,
Amour.
yes.
I like that hits something in my
Don't
spirit.
be making me have more work,
I
Shell.
hope nobody already has it. I wish somebody in the comments would have looked it up to see if that's already a show, comfort and conversation, because this world needs more comfort and we need to have more conversation, but we need some truth in those conversations too. We need truth sprinkled all up and through there. But anyway, I thank you, Sherry, for your transparency and your truthfulness and
Thank you
your
for having me, Shell.
decision to be an authentic believer of Christ,
Yes.
doing the work of the Lord, and also prospering and being in good health. I know the word says health, but prospering and being in good health in this place as you do it. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Share this out that it may bless and help
Yes.
someone else through their struggles. Sherry, I thank you. I will see
Thank
you all
you.
soon. Don't forget to go to sherryamourmusic.com and purchase your tickets for the virtual Thanksgiving night concert. Okay. I'll
Yes,
see
y'all. We're
y'all
gonna be
then.
dancing. We'll do a little two-step. We're gonna have wardrobe changes. We're gonna have a funky good time.
I just showed my age in my dance. Sherry and I are in different decades, but that, I'm an elderly person.
Girl,
So
whatever. She is exaggerating, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna be 50 in a few months. Okay. Sherry keeps telling me,
That's
girl,
all
why
she say.
why you keep saying you about to be 50? Because it's the truth. I am.
Every time we could be looking outside the window. Oh my God, the sky's blue. Girl, I'm about to be 50. What?
I am.
What does that have to do with anything?
I am about to be 50. That is a blessing.
But
And if
ain't
y'all
no it is a blessing.
She know if they knew my story, they'd understand why I'm so seriously excited about turning a whole new decade and 50 on top of that. So anyway, see, we can keep
She
talking.
don't
Y'all
even
see
look
this?
50, do she, y'all? She look good.
Okay, thank y'all. Anyway, thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
I will
I'm gonna
see.
shut up.
I'm gonna talk to you in a minute because we'll be on here for another hour. People be like, they've been talking. It's time for me to go to bed. Okay.
Thank you, nah, but go
Okay.
to sleep now.
I gotta stop. Hard stop. Love you all. Thank you so much. Share this out. Go get your tickets. I'll see you all soon. And we're gonna figure something out for Thanksgiving. I don't know what, but these wheels are turning around because we gotta come in contact again. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share this out and don't forget to purchase your tickets. Love you all. Love you, Sherry. Bye.